Hello guys and welcome back. This is mqrmqr doing yet another video. So right now my internet's not working for whatever reason. I tried restarting the router and it's still not working. But it gave me a great opportunity to do something I wanted to do for a while, and that's play some Dino Run. Now, for those who don't know, Dino Run is a built-in game on the Chrome browser. I'll show you it in a second, of course. Essentially what it is, though, is you have a dinosaur, and it can jump, and it can also duck, and you have to dodge obstacles. It's a pretty simple game, but, it's always been there for me when the internet's out, and I'm bored because of that. It's always been there for me. So, how about we start playing some of it. Now, it's got a couple unique mechanics. Now, that was actually a pretty difficult obstacle right there, like right at the beginning. So, yeah. So it starts out, of course, essentially jumping over cactuses. Pretty simple. In a second here, we will, and every time you get 100 points, it makes a little sound. And if you haven't noticed yet, we are, I think, slowly getting faster. And that will continue throughout the game. You can also duck. Yeah, see, that was our first bird. You actually don't need to duck. You can jump over the birds, so you can hypothetically play the game without ducking. However, it's better because if you're jumping, okay. Yeah, here's the first nighttime mechanic. Now I'll do it when I die here, but you see it inverted the color of all the text, and it's back to day again. But when I die here, I'll actually show you or another interesting mechanic of the game. Yeah, I didn't even need to duck there. If the bird's at the maximum height, you don't need to duck. See, I just jumped over that one. It's not really a necessary mechanic. Yes, I'm really starting to pick up the pace here. Yeah, you can actually jump over the highest birds, even though I didn't need to jump there or there because I can just walk under it. I don't even need to duck. Yeah, see, I'm really starting to pick up the pace. It's pretty much inevitable that you'll die, pretty much, because essentially what will happen is when you jump over the cactus, you'll eventually, like, if you don't, you have to jump in advance, or when you jump, you'll hit the next cactus. Back to nighttime. See, it periodically shifts. I don't know if there's a set time. I'm guessing there is for when it shifts. But yeah, so it does that. And in a second, I'll actually show you an interesting mechanic with that. I need to actually tab out of the game, and at least at this point in the game, I need to get my mouse and press a couple buttons. But I am, when I die here, and let's see here. Let's see if I can get to 10,000. I've done it before. Not sure if I'll be able to do it again. Well, I mean, I could probably, considering this is just a given game, and I've already gotten to 3,000. Yeah, and I think around here, the speed is actually starting to, in terms of acceleration, starting to plateau. There's not much more acceleration because at this point it's already pretty dangerous. If you accelerated more, it'd just be impossible to avoid obstacles. Yep. Okay, so that gives me an opportunity to. So yeah, so it also lists a high score. Yeah, it also lists a high score up here. and that is it doesn't actually save if you exit the tab. So that's one thing I don't like about the game. Obviously it's not worth it to find some type of data storage for, just kind of a joke game, but that's still a thing. So if I actually reload this page here, see, how do I do it? Yeah, so the game often kind of starts out with this difficult mechanic. You have to kind of do a quick jump. Anyway, so this requires it to be nighttime. So let's wait for that. Yeah, so if you look, it didn't save my high score in the game. Even though I just reloaded the tab. Well, I didn't load it because it exits to the blank screen, but it doesn't like save progress at all for high scores. Yeah, so here we go. So if you look at the text, it's all orange, but that's not the actual text. That's the highlighting of the text. So yeah, I don't know if that was intentional or if they're just using some type of standard, inversion, like color inversion for this, and that just happened. But I don't know. I find that pretty interesting. It changes to orange, which I was never big on art class, but I'm pretty sure that's like at the opposite end of the color wheel. So I guess it makes sense. Yeah. Oh yeah, and there's also I'm not sure. Like the moon's like a crescent moon. It might actually change. Because I think before like the full moon. So that's just another built-in mechanic. Yeah. Really, generally, I find it. Yeah. See, this time it's a full moon. Really, generally, I find it when you have a bird that's like that one that just killed me. It's easier to jump over it than to dodge it, or by or duck under it, because that you have to put your hand on another key. And I guess you could use the space bar with one hand and use the arrow key for the other. Yeah, that's one more mechanic. So you can jump with the up arrow, crouch with the down arrow. You can also jump with the space bar. Yeah, so you can jump with the space bar. You can jump with the up arrow. I think you can only crouch with the down arrow. So I guess the ideal way to play the game is to jump with the space bar and then keep your finger on the crouch arrow. If you're not doing that, it's just simpler to jump over the medium height birds. And just because actually the first game I died because I was like not paying attention, and I didn't have a fast enough reaction time to physically put my finger on the bottom key. Yep. So that's actually pretty much Dino Run. I think it's a well-made game. Even though it's simple, it's got its mechanics aren't they always run smoothly, and there's some level of strategy to it, despite you're literally just jumping over obstacles. There's still some element of strategy. So yeah, I think that's going to include this video. This was mqrmqr doing yet another video. Stay tuned for more and more and more. We'll be back soon. Goodbye.